Hello, listener. I'm Nick Coffey, and this is the second season of Ministerium Radio. I'm a little busy right now, listener. I have this puzzle box with me, and if you can keep a secret, I'll tell you how I got it after our scheduled program. It's like a Rubik's Cube, but instead of just spinning around, the pieces can spin it in and out and all around. And it changes shape also. I've completed almost one half of a Rubik's Cube in my life, but I feel like I have a shot here. The trick is to forego all the algorithms and just randomly do things. Oh well, time for tonight's program. Today we have a story of dancing and a curiosity from a once spider-infested world. I have with me a story of one Eugene J., confused dancer of moves, and even more curious, this letter was found adrift in the abyssal void, which is quite unusual for paper, let alone letters. Now it reads, Hey Dad, something really weird happened today, and I don't know if I want to stay for the rest of the weekend. I was with Jaden and Carl, and we had just had a few beers. We were talking about the festival, how good those shawarmas at the stand I told you about are, and the war. And then this guy, wearing a crazy outfit, shows up. It was sort of a big detective coat over a gray-blue jumpsuit. Goggles and absolutely no hair, not even his eyebrows. He asked us if we wanted to party, and I was like, no thanks, but Jaden asked what he meant, and he gave us these really weird little dried things. They looked like raisins, but there were definitely little legs on them. And apparently they were pretty popular around the festival area. It's like LSD, he said, that after one of these we'd be dancing our way to transcendence. After that he just kinda left, and we sort of forgot about it until after the kerosene flap show, while we were all just waiting for June Davis to be done so we could go see Opie Vensey. Then Jaden started to talk it up. He made a pretty good point, and please don't be mad, but he said we should get a little high before Opie, and really feel it. I kinda didn't feel good about getting high away from our tents, but I didn't want to look lame, so I didn't say anything. We ate these little raisins, and we started feeling it right away. We couldn't shut up. Our bodies were vibrating with energy. I looked at Carl, and he looked completely gone. His eyes were completely black, but he looked really happy, and he said I looked happy as well. I expected it to wear off before we had to head home, but it didn't. We danced in the wave-like crowd at OP, and sang the whole way home. Jaden even wingmaned for me and talked a girl into kissing me because he said we had a bet going on, which of course was a fib. I don't think it mattered to either me or the girl. We got back to the tents and we couldn't shake it. We were still totally feeling it, but we weren't complaining. I think it was 2 when we found a big basketball court that had been turned into a dance floor, and it was jam-packed. You know that I don't like dancing, ever, but I just kinda ran in there, and well, danced. I really danced. For the first time, maybe ever, I understood why people dance like this. I started to understand it all. I felt like I was one with the dance floor. I felt like I was one with the smiling mass of people, like we were just a huge organism, a really happy huge organism that couldn't stop dancing. Everything outside the dance floor became pointless, and I totally forgot about school and the war for a bit. It was so good. Then, I didn't feel it. Suddenly, I wasn't feeling it at all. I just guessed that I was coming down, and I tried to snake my way through the crowd. Suddenly, I didn't get it anymore. I didn't want to dance, and I didn't see a point. Like, at all. Everyone was smelly and sweaty, and I just wanted to go to the tent and mellow out. Then, it happened. In a bright magenta-colored flash, everyone just disappeared. Everyone inside the basketball court disappeared except for me. Boom. then everyone was gone. I was worried that I had been tripping and hallucinating, and that everyone had been watching me dance like nobody was watching in a basketball court alone, but it was real. The festival is kinda chaotic right now. People lost friends and siblings when that court disappeared. There's a lot of police too, and I already gave them my statement. Carl thinks it's the government testing some kind of teleporting technology, but I just don't know. I just want to go home. I'll call you when I get to a phone. I'm okay. I'm just scared and don't feel like staying. Love, Eugene. Ah yes, dancing. Dancing is something else, it really is. It combines pointless arm waving and jumping with music to produce a new art form. Maybe the dance floor was a hologram, or a really convincing mirage. Maybe it was an alien abduction, or maybe it was the ghost of a dance floor that went up in flames 10 years ago, complete with sweaty specters. What I know for sure is, you shouldn't do drugs. As fun and moderately safe as dried bloodgrubs are, if cultivated in a shoddy garden, or from the blood of the depressed, bloodgrubs can cause full paralysis, brain death, spontaneous combustion, turning inside out, spaghettification, bad attitude, and even Class 5 transformations, like turning into a godlike beam of non-ionizing radiation, or a giant boar with 2 heads. With that out of the way, I have a rare treat for you all listeners. See, we have agents everywhere. Our agents are in the government, in the private sector, they're in the water, and even in the walls. Sometimes we send those agents to different worlds, different dimensions, and sometimes they bring back some really neat things. Like this vinyl album by Wulton Bleaks called Conversations with Myself. I find this album particularly interesting because it turns out Wulton Bleaks is also a spider. Very relatable. The very first track is listed as The Red Thread, so let's give it a listen. That was pretty nice. I only ever really listened to grindcore and industrial nice noise, but this was nice. It makes me want to eat cheese outside. I might just be biased, listener, but I really like spider music. It speaks to me. Oh right, where did I get this cube? Well, now it's more of a sphere of sorts. I got it through the inter-office miracle of clerical error. A file got filed in the file cabinet was the wrong one, or rather the right one, because it was mine. Sorry listener, I just feel like I'm really close.